Hello, welcome to my channel. I'm Richard Wang. Today, I have one topic I want to discuss with you is the edge computing topic. And why we discuss about this is because recently I had friends and customers, providers, and we had a discussion about this part. And I feel that most of our understanding in the industry is quite different from my opinions. So that's why I want to have a discussion with you. And if you have some comments or something you think is not correct, you are welcome to have some comments. I will reply to you, and also we can have deeper discussion. Most of the industry arena think that the edge computing is the future because of the 5G technology, because of the Starlink, this kind of technology is coming. It seems that the connected world is just very close to us. Well, part of it is right, part of it is wrong, because I'm agree that in the future we can get the connection very easily, everywhere. But the problem is, does anyone consider the power providing? This is one big challenge. Then consider edge computing. If you want to deploy everywhere, where it will get the power, right? Second is, most of my friends telling me that edge computing will looks like exactly like this. You can see this is one very big micro data center put in outdoor, which people think that's the final form of the edge computing, which I think is not correct. So let's discuss a little bit deeper about these two topics. First, the power part. We can combine with the 5G and the Starlink and edge computing together. Okay. Whatever you can do in the future, the connected world, you can get network everywhere. That's the purpose, right? So if you can get the connection everywhere, the edge computing, you can distribute it everywhere to put very close to the applications. So you can have very low latency and process immediately. You don't have to send traffic back to the centralized data center, and you save a lot of bandwidth, these kind of things. And these advantages you guys know, I don't have to explain a bit more. But think about it. Do you have power? Because hey, we're not in a world that can get power everywhere. Power grid is limited. Remember that we're in a world that not very averagely developed, and then some developed countries you get power everywhere. I don't think so. Still you have some rural area or something you don't have power. But on the other hand, there's some developing countries. They don't have powers in the countryside, So, but come back. If you have connection everywhere, you can, who will request these connections most? It's the people in the rural area. For example, Starlink technology is very helpful for the people in the rural area, in the countryside, because they just put the system there and can get internet, right? So, you need power, and in rural area you don't have it. So solar power is the way to solve the problem, right? But on the other hand, think about it. Because of 5G technology, because of the Starlink technology, the site will not that big like a current stage, right? In current world, we have a outdoor site. For example, you have several cameras, 4, 5, 6 cameras aggregated in the one site, and on this site you have power system, probably solar system, probably UPS system, outdoor UPS system, these kind of things. Just like our products I mentioned before, our products U200, right? But in the future, if you can get connection easily, you don't have to aggregate all the service into one node. The service is not limited by fiber. The service is actually, you can put it everywhere because the connection is everywhere. But the problem is you will be limited by the power. So that's why you need to provide a solar power to this kind of applications to make it can distribute everywhere. Then when it is distributed everywhere, you have edge computing distributed everywhere, right? That's the background. So we think solar power is extremely important for the edge computing technologies. That's why I think the solar power, the edge computing, is the right technology. But it should not go very big. It should be small. So let's roll back to see the second topic. we just mentioned in the beginning that hey, this kind of big micro data center in outdoor, it's not correct way of doing the job. Because we just mentioned that because 5G technology, Starlink technology, edge computing, these kind of things, this wireless part will make the service node very small, right? So if it is the service node is very small, why do you need to go aggregate the traffic? Why do you need to aggregate the traffic into such a big node? This kind of micro data center is made by the data center guy. You know, I think they don't have correct knowledge in outdoor deployment, in the real network chain. So they only think they only stay in their knowledge area and they think, oh, edge computing just put these things out. But hey, let's see this kind of big micro data center, how much computing capability you can put in? A lot. So you need to aggregate a lot of traffic and process here. Why you need it? Because as we mentioned, the Starlink and 5G, this kind of technology will cut the node into small pieces and they will back up by themselves, and we provide solar technology to them, right? So I think the real scenario for computing, edge computing, is a very small node. It will only processing locally some service, which will not be a very big scale. But again, when it is so small, what about the power? So that's why we think in the future we need a devices is solar powered edge computing node. But solar powered edge computing node has to put a network in. The network has to combine with the whole system. For example, if I have a scenario in the countryside, I want to give a very rural area village in Africa. You know, in Africa countries, probably some rural area village, they don't have internet, and you want to give them the remote education and these kind of things, right? And you have a local storage, something. What you need to do is just put a node there and use Starlink for network backhaul, and you have local server there. And the local server, probably you have some applications, some program that give remote education, right? But the power, because they don't have, most of the poor people, poor countryside, they don't have power. Then you have your own solar system, right? Then you can connect some screen or whatever to give them the remote education. Then at middle night, probably it's synchronized with the headquarter for the contact. This is only an exception, okay? So you see that if you build the system based on current way, you have to build a cabinet for solar power system, and you have to put the Starlink system. You have to put a POE switch, whatever, you know. It will make the things very complex. So remember that EdgeWare's philosophy always emphasize that it's very important to consider CapEx, also OpEx. So if we do in a not correct way, the OpEx will be extremely high. So you think about if you have a edge computing node, let's say very big, let's say typical design in current industrial, then you put another solar system, you know, typical way. Let's say the typical way. So think about it. If you don't put them and you don't merge them together very well, how much cost will be the cost to install in the rural area? Also, if it is not maintenance free, how much is the operation cost? So I don't think it is correct way. And on the other hand, because you don't need a very big server or very big computing node, because your service is limited in the rural area. So that's why I think solar powered edge computing is the future. But very, very important is we should not only think about the solar powered edge computing, put a device like a very standard. No, we should think about to put the correct capacity for the solar power, for the correct capacity of the computing node, and consider the scenario. Make something all-in-one that really match the scenario. That's what we should do. That's also our ambitions to help our customer to face the future challenge. I don't know if my understanding is correct or not, but this is our philosophy, and we're pushing from these directions. And you can see that we have device like our edge computing with UPS system with POE switch, our edge computing node with solid system, with the battery, with switch. Also, we can put it in wireless. In the future, Starlink is there. We just put the Starlink technology inside. This is what we want to do, and we already did some testing node. So I would like to know your comments so we can see together that how to do the job together in the future. All right, that's my understanding. Thank you for listening to me. And well, if you like us, please make sure you subscribe to us. Thank you very much. See you next time.